This is Isaac Mejia, and I am building the Etruscan Temple from Chapter 6. This is the stylobate, which is the base of the temple. It would house the columns, which would support the roof. This is a prototype of the columns, and they are smaller than they should be. So I later then changed them to have a thicker appearance, and also removed the ridges as they were unfluted. Around 6 to 8 columns would support the roof and would be at the front of the temple, as the temple was not meant to be seen from all different angles. This is the roof and the rest of the building. The interior of the temple would house many treasures that the Etruscans deemed as valuable. And this is the rear of the temple. This would not be as detailed because the temple was not meant to be viewed from all different angles, but was meant to be detailed at the front. The main components of the temple would be sun-dried mud brick, terracotta, and wood. Archaeologists have not seen an Etruscan temple, so this is their estimate of what it would look like, as the materials that made them were very weak and were not durable to last so many years. Only the stylobates have lasted this far, and archaeologists have only managed to create a prototype of what the temple would look like due to historical artifacts. The porch of the temple would be used to house people and to shelter. It would be the main focus of the temple, and it had multiple different entrances. The interior of the temples had many treasures that were made of metal because metal was deemed as valuable in this culture. This specific temple is the Temple of Portinaccio, which is in Veii, Italy. This area was in northern Italy before the Romans conquered it. They used archaic inspo, and Greeks also inspired them with their religion. They would build statues of Greek-like deities. This is supposed to be Apollo, but to Etruscan culture, he was known as Apollo, as well as Hera, who was known as Uni, and Hercules, who was known as Herdi. The Etruscans enjoyed worshiping their gods in a nature-like environment, and they also celebrated life after death. So when an Etruscan would die, rather than mourning them, they would throw parties and banquets. Unlike the temples, which were located near the city, the Etruscans would build their necropolises outside of the city. Within these tumuli, which were structures within each necropolis, which meant city of the dead, they would house sarcophagi. On the temple roof, we could see figures. These figures were known as protective deities, which would protect the Etruscans, as they believed. As we circle the temple, one can notice that it is not as detailed. The Etruscans lasted from at around 900 BC to 273 BC before the Romans conquered it. Their culture was very similar to the Greek, and their structures were primarily made of wood.